Hello everybody, Fan Handyman here once again. Today I am going to be doing a video of this little vintage desk fan that was brought here to me by a friend. This is a super electric single speed desk fan. This would appear to be a rare fan. I right when he brought it to me, I did some thorough research online, looked around on YouTube and on Google, even Facebook, and I really couldn't find an image of this. I think this is an 8 or a 9 inch. I did measure it. It is aluminum. Everything to it is original. This is the back of it here, and his son had bought this for him, and I think that it was already like this. But here's the back of it here. Let me turn the light off. Hopefully you can see it better. But this only has 2 leads going into the motor, and you can see here from where the cord was severed that since this is a single speed motor, this had the rotary dial switch to it, and obviously it is missing. Here is the motor shell to it here, and you see there's the hole there for where it mounts on there. And I'm pretty sure, I think that there was a bracket here from where the back shell was mounted on, and that appears to be missing too. And here is the motor. Motor looks to be in pretty good shape. Its wires are good and stuck together. There's no burnt spots or anything like that. This fan looks to be in very good shape. Cage is a little flimsy. All I have to do is to tighten that up. There's a nice blade pitch to it. It's also has a good spin to it as well. Basically what I'm going to do is that I'm going to since I do not have the right switch that goes to this fan right now, I'm going to see if I can try to get this to start. Either I can try to bypass it, or I'll just hook up a cord to it and I'll see if I can get it to run. And if the fan runs, I guess I'll just tell them that I can just hold on to it until I can order the right switch for this fan. And other than that, it doesn't even look like the fan has to be cleaned. I'm not too sure if it'll need to be oiled as freely as it spins. And basically all I have to do is to tighten up those bolts holding that cage on. I'm not exactly too sure, but the paint job to this looks to be very original. Like I said, I've never seen one of these before. Maybe it was painted one time before, but you can see some of the paint chipping here on the cage, and there's the blade set there too. But if you look here on the bottom, if this thing will focus, you can see some parts there on the bottom. So maybe the thing was painted one time before, or that was done in the factory. There are the feet to it. It even has the original feet. Okay. See if I can get me a cord, and I'll just I'll hook it all up here, and I'll see if I can get this thing to run. There's some fabric in this. I don't know if that's some kind of fabric or I'm not exactly sure if you can see it. Okay. Pretty certain that this was the original intended cord for it. I'm going to take this old cord here, and I'm going to hook it up to the thing here and see if I can get it to work. Strip these ends here. Maybe I'll strip that back a little bit more. Okay. See if I can find a wire bolt that's not too thick, too big. See if I can find another like this. Okay. Alright, there we go. Okay, here we have it. Alright. Okay. Let's go ahead and wire this in and we'll see what happens. Well, it's running. Yeah, it is a little out of balance there, as you can see. Okay, let's go ahead and unplug it. Alright, let me hook my lamp back in here. Okay, so now we know that the fan is working, and luckily I didn't have to go the route of bypassing it, but it wouldn't have made any difference. Well, now that we know that the fan is functioning and working, let's see if we can do a little maintenance work here. Let's go ahead and try to first we'll have to remove the blade set here, and then we'll remove the cage. And I guess I'll just pump a few drops of of some oil in here and try to tweak that blade back into balance and figure out of a strategy how to get this mounted onto the back of the fan here. And then I'll call my friend and I'll let him know that I can just order either I can order a switch offline, which will maybe take about a week, or I can just give the fan to him and just let him know that it's only going to be a working fan only when plugged in. So here we go. Let's get busy. Okay, everybody. Well, it just so happened that I was having having a hard time trying to get the blade removed here. It looked like it was on there pretty good, and I really don't have the equipment, the right tools to remove the blade set. So, also not to mention that the fan really doesn't seem like it would need to be cleaned or oiled or anything like that, considering of how good the coastal is. So I think I'll just leave that be. And as for the back here, basically what I'm going to do is, now that I know that the fan is running, is that I'm going to take this long bolt here and these bolts, and I'm going to run it in through this little bracket here, and I'm going to try to make this hole a little bit bigger to where the bolt will come in, and it's going to be mounted on here this way. It does appear that the bracket that was here is missing, so I think I'm going to go with this method and see how this all plays out. It won't be in particularly stylish, but I have a feeling that it's going to work. So let me see if I can try to find something to make that hole a little bit bigger to where I can get that bolt going through here. And let's try this and see how it does. Okay, so now what I've done is that I just took this little tool here and I just stuck it through the other end of the motor shelf there, and I just very firmly tapped it down with a hammer, and I managed to do it without bending anything. So now that the bolt's going to go through, so basically what I have to do now is that I'm just going to take the bolt and I'm going to very carefully slide it in through here, and then I'm going to put the shelf over this bolt, and then it's going to be mounted on with these nuts here in the washer, and we'll see how that does. Okay, so I over-exaggerated a little bit. It totally turned out that this bolt was a little too long for this. I should have thought of that ahead of time, but I suppose there was no harm in just trying for the heck of it. I think I'm just gonna use this little screw here. It's a bit shorter, and I'm just gonna take this washer and I'm just gonna stick it in through here, and I'll just take a bolt. I'll just take a nut. It will be mounted over this bolt, and then we'll see where we go from there. Okay, now I have that nut there screwed in place. It's nice and sturdy. So hopefully all I have to do now is to very carefully work the shelf onto the back here. And if the screw is long enough to come out this end, I'll just mount it in place with this other nut, and we'll get the cord put back on, and we'll be in business. Alright. Looks like that worked out properly. That screw's going to stick out there a little bit, but it's on there pretty good. It's a pretty neat fix there. It's a nice little method. I don't think that thing will be coming off. Well, I guess the only thing to do now is to get the cord put back on, and we're going to work with the blade here, try to get it back in alignment. clean it up a little bit, and we'll crank it up and we'll see what progress we've made. Okay, everybody. I think that's a good fix there. I think that'll work out just fine. Now I have the wire hooked up back on here. I guess the next step that we have to do is we need to get the blade back in alignment, get it back in balance. I really don't see the need much for it to be oiled. The spin down on it seems like it's pretty good, nice and long, and really didn't need to be cleaned out. So I guess we just have to do this one last thing, and I think we're pretty much done with this. So what I'll do is that I'll plug it in. We're gonna see. Yep. Okay. You can see how bad the clock is on it. So basically what we have to do is we're just going to look at the horizon of the cage here, and you can see, this thing, of how bad of out of balance this thing is. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to look at the horizon, or this is my way of doing it. Okay, so basically what I did was I just took this old screwdriver here, and I would barely stick it out here, and then you spin the blade. Basically, I'll just spin it by hand usually, and then you'll feel the tweaked blade smack up against the screwdriver. I was able to find where the bent blade was, and my way of doing it is look at the set screw, and whatever the bent blade is, just look at that part of the set screw, and that's how you'll know usually of what the bad blade is. Some will mark it. I'll just do it by that method. So basically, I did get the blade tweaked back into place. So we're just gonna plug it in, and we're gonna see if it made any difference. Okay. Blades are a little bit better. There's a better balance to it. Minimum vibration. Vibration is not as bad as it was, but with it just being that one blade, it really wasn't much of a problem. Let's see if we can try to tweak that blade one more time and see what happens. Okay, let's hook this back in and see if it made any difference. Okay, that is somewhat better. It's a smooth runner. Has good air volume to it. Okay. Okay, I think that's about the best it's going to get for now. It's really improved with the work that I've done to it. There is going to be a part two to this fan. Basically, what I'm going to do is that I'll store it away somewhere, and I'll look up a cheap switch for this online. They're really not that hard to find, and they're really not all that expensive. So in due time, I'll order a switch for this, and then I'll make another video of me, putting the switch on it. I'll work with it a little bit more to see if I can get the balance on it a little bit better. So, well, there you have it, everybody. There is a demonstration and repair of this rare 8-inch super electric single speed desk fan. Posting comments and put a like and subscribe. If any of you have any ideas or suggestions, feel free to chime in. And more videos to come. Bye bye.